that I saw, in game trailer, that the main character probably running, and by seeing the running, all the people are claiming that probably they have heavily inspired from the Black Myth Wukong game. So is there anything do you want to clarify? All the people are asking me that, okay, whenever you take the interview, just put this question in front. What is AAA according to Mr. Siddharth Singh?
So, we want the game to be as accessible as possible to a lot of people, right? Without making it too easy, right?
So how does it feel, to work with them as a co-founder, and they are also the co-founder of Tara Gaming Limited, and how these things pan out?
So our whole objective right now, whole focus is in making the best game possible, right? So that, when we release this game, people around the world, especially people in India, should feel really proud of the game that we have built.
The Age of Bhaarat, the name itself creating the buzz, the Age of Bharat, what is there? So that creates a, very good emotional appealing for the Indian people, of course. So you are pitching a really highly, cinematic and story-rich experience in your trailer, what we can see as a gamer. So how are you maintaining the pacing and narrative quality all throughout? Tell me, he seems to be like a very cute and charming person altogether. एंटरटेनमेंट की दुनिया बदल रही है, तो क्या आप तैयार हो नेक्स्ट लेवल गेमिंग के लिए? चाहे आप प्लेयर हो या डेवलपर, गेम स्टूडियो के साथ आपका गेमिंग का सफर अब और भी एक्साइटिंग होने वाला है। गेम स्टूडियो के कुछ एक्सक्लूसिव गेम्स गूगल प्ले स्टोर पे आपको मिल जाएंगे, जिसपे छोटा भीम कार्ट रेसिंग, छोटा भीम एडवेंचर रन और छोटा भीम वर्ल्ड किंगडम जैसे धमाकेदार गेम्स शामिल है। आईफोन यूजर हो तो जरूर चेकआउट करें आवर लेटेस्ट iOS गेम्स, जिसपे वर्ल्ड स्पोर्ट्स चैलेंज, बेसबॉल सुपर लीग आपको बहुत ही पसंद आएंगे। मोबाइल के साथ साथ अगर आप बड़े पर्दे पर गेम्स को एंजॉय करना चाहते हो तो गेम बी स्टूडियो के Amazon ऐप स्टोर पर आपका स्वागत है। एक्शन, एडवेंचर, रेसिंग, शूटर, स्पोर्ट्स, सिमुलेशन जॉनर पे आपको कई सारे गेम मिल जाएंगे, जैसे कि मॉन्स्टर ट्रक्स, ज़ॉम्बी सर्वाइवल, एक्सट्रीम फास्ट एंड फ्यूरियस, शार्क अटैक एंड मेनी मोर। और ये सारे थ्रिलिंग गेम्स आपकी टीवी स्क्रीन पर रिमोट से एंजॉय कर पाओगे। अगर आप एक गेम डेवलपर हो तो गेम बी स्टूडियो के साथ जुड़ जाओ, हमारी पब्लिशिंग टीम आपकी मदद करेगी आप ही के गेम को रिलीज करने में। सो गेमर्स एंड डेवलपर्स, स्टार्ट योर इमर्सिव राइड विद गेम बी स्टूडियो एंड लेट्स एंजॉय द जर्नी टुगेदर। All the links are in description. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to yet another new and fresh episode of GameTout Gossip. And today I'm pretty excited and pumped up because I have with me Mr. Siddharth Singh, who is from Tara Gaming Limited. He is the studio head of India. So, sir, how are you? And welcome to GameTout Gossip.
Thank you so much, Siddharth. Thank you so much. And by the way, your name is also Siddharth. My name is also Siddharth. So Siddharth meets Siddharth. Good to be here. Happy to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me. And I'm excited to talk to you and your community.
Yep, likewise. And I would like to mention that, after the trailer drop on YouTube, every developers community, every gamers community look gaga, like this is the first Indian title or probably a AAA version of title we are going to have. So I would like to have lots of conversation, lots of things are like fuzzing up right now. I really want you to clarify all this so that people could really understand the depth of what Tara Gaming wanted to bring in the Indian gaming scene. So right now, I just want you to, go back 20 years back and tell me your journey, that how game dev thoughts kicking in your career and your mind.
Yeah, so I've had a very normal childhood, right?
Yes.
Like all of us, right? But in terms of game dev, I still remember the first time when I saw a FIFA game playing on one of my cousin's computer, right? And that was the time I was hooked to gaming, right? So I've been gaming for the last 35 years or so. Have been a hardcore gamer in PC, console, mobile, whatever platforms I get. If I get a good game, I play it, right? So that's where my love for games started, right? In terms of career, it was never really planned as such, right? Never planned to get in the gaming industry. I always had an affinity. I was always a creative-minded person, right? So, but it was never very, structured or planned, right? Because at that point of time, we didn't really have a lot of courses, for game development studies in India as such, right?
That was probably early 90s?
Yeah, purely early 90s. Yeah. So we didn't really have any such specific courses designed for gaming as such, right? So I still remember a time I wanted to learn about game development, right? So I was in 7th grade. I ordered a book called How to Make Games. And that was a programming where the author was teaching about game development in C++. And being in 7th grade, a lot of those things, went over my head. So that is where my initial journey started, right? I wanted to learn as much as I can about game development. But yeah, things happened. Luck played a part in this.
Straight up.
It favored me, right? And that's where I landed into a job in the game industry.
Is there any favorite game of yours from this 90s?
A lot of games. I mean, obviously, I mean, we have started playing with, Mario Contra. That is where we all started, right?
Okay.
I'm that old, right? So I started with Mario Contra, and then Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and then Castlevania, Prince of Persia, and then getting on to Doom, Quake, and all that, right? I mean,
Yes,
there's so many games.
back then there is sports game like FIFA as well. Probably you are a
Yeah,
fan
yeah.
of FIFA. Okay,
Yes, yes.
which
I
one?
mean,
Which
that was
one?
so I started playing FIFA. FIFA, I would say 96 was the first one that I played. Yeah, but then I have been playing FIFA more or less like almost all the years from after that.
Okay, great. So
Yeah.
FIFA is made from EA, of course, Electronic Arts, and you being a partner with a job with Electronic Arts, you've been a part of this. So
Yeah.
how is this journey? It's a kind of a dream come true for a game developer, probably.
Absolutely. I mean, I sometimes still now don't believe that how lucky I am, to be part of this industry, right? And I believe somewhere my passion for this craft, this industry, brought me into this. So I've been
Mm-hmm.
very lucky, as I've always said, right, that I didn't do a lot of things on my own. It has been like luck has played a part, and it's really favored me, and that's how I landed a job in EA as well. It's right after my MBA, right? So I just completed my
Okay.
MBA and got an opportunity to work in EA, right? And over there, I worked on multiple titles like FIFA, Sims, Medal of Honor, Battlefield, Harry Potter, Deathly Hallows was one of
Okay.
my first games that I worked on, right? So yeah,
Absolutely.
it had been a great experience working with EA at that
So
point of
see,
time.
since you've been into lots of projects and then you come into Tara Gaming Limited. So how's the atmosphere in Tara Gaming? Just tell me something about Tara Gaming. What people really wanted to know. The Tara Gaming is a global company or Indian company. So is there anything that you want to clarify?
Yeah, so Tara Gaming is a global company, but it has a very Indian-centric approach, right? We have an Indian development studio, right? More the game is being developed in India, right? We already have a team here, and we are expanding at a very fast pace, right? So we
Yes.
are looking to hire at multiple positions, like we are looking for game developers in Unreal Engine, we are looking for 3D artists, we are looking for concept artists, we are looking for game designers, we are looking for producers, right? We are looking for QA. So we are building an end-to-end game development studio of Tara Gaming in India, right? And that's where most of the development is going to happen for the game.
Great.
So
And I also
yeah,
have
as
a
far as
yes.
yeah, I'll just like to add, as far as the culture within the studio is concerned. I mean, it has been among the best that I've worked in, right? And that shows in the quality of the game that we are producing. I mean, looking at the trailer, looking at the cinematics, looking at the gameplay that we have done, right? I mean, the culture is as good as it gets, right? Everybody is very open-minded, and we all talk to each other. Don't we appreciate feedback from all the team members, and that's where we truly believe that that's how the build a truly world class game, right? Because if you don't listen to feedback, if you don't talk to each other, and we don't really understand like what's going with each and every person, it's very difficult to build a team that can work coherently together, to
Yes.
build the kind of game that we're looking to build.
Absolutely. And like how many team members in the studio as of now?
So right now we are a team of 30 people, right? And
30 people.
we are expanding at a fast pace. We have multiple openings right now, and
Okay.
a lot of them. I mean, we keep posting on LinkedIn as well of the openings that we have, and we would request through you. We would like to request the
Sure.
community that please go and check those profiles and look at them, and then if you think that you can contribute to the development of the game, please reach out to us, and we would love to have a word and understand where we can like work together.
Yeah, just to mention that is the kind of job only remote or just on site or mixed?
No, we have on-site roles right now. So we're looking
Okay.
at we have an in-house, we have an on-site studio in Pune where we expect people to come and work together, because we are building our AAA game, right? And that kind of game requires a lot of collaborative effort, and that's why we have built up a studio in Pune where we want people to come work together and have a good time.
You at home?
No, no, I'm in the office.
Okay. Love the painting though. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. So
Correct.
Siddharth, just tell me that probably some time back when the trailer drops, so all the gameplay was pretty fine. The story lore seems pretty great. Even the world environment is pretty enchanting. But two names. people are going gaga. One is like Mr. Amitabh Bachchan sir, and one is like Mr. Amish Tripathi sir. So how does it feel, to work with them as a co-founder, and they are also the co-founder of Tara Gaming Limited, and how these things pan out?
I mean, it has been a dream come true, right? I mean, to work with these legends, right? And I mean, I'm at loss of words like how to describe that, right? I mean, working very closely with them, you tend to understand what their process. You tend to understand how they think and how much of passion and love they put into their craft, right? And that is the reason why they are such stalwarts and such legends in their respective fields, right? So I mean, I only have like good things to say about this opportunity that I got to work with them, and I'm still learning every day. I mean, even at I mean, it's a chance that I just thank God every day that came to me that allowed me to to work with these kind of people and understand like what you need to do to become the best in your work, right? So it has been
Yes.
nothing short of fabulous.
Since Tara Gaming started with a big bang, of course, with this particular trailer, I would like to know that what is your vision for the next 5 year down the line?
Yeah, so we are completely focused on this game, right? We want to build the best possible game that we can with the Age of Bharat, and we want to take the Indian culture, the Indian epics, the stories that we all have, grown up listening to, right? We want to take these stories to the global audience because if you look at games as an industry, right, games is something that almost everybody understands. I mean, it's
Yes.
a medium that the world is very easy for people who don't really know the culture or the epics to pick up the game and
Yes.
get introduced to this new culture, right? Which is where our core thesis is that we want to take up this beautiful story that we have, right, and present it to the world in the form of gaming, right, which allows us to allows more people to know about India, about the Indian culture, about our Indian stories.
Let's come back to the your game, the talk of the town, the Age of Bharat. So the Age of Bharat's trailer is pretty brilliant. I would like to break down some part of it, but before that I would like to mention that you probably this game is the first Indian AAA game according to you, your Tara Gaming Limited.
So, I mean, it's very difficult for me to, comment on whether it's the first in AAA game or not. I mean, people are saying that, but we don't really want to comment on what others are doing, right? We are focused on building the best game possible for us so that when we create this game at the end of the day, we Indians, we can go across in the world and tell people that this
Yes.
is the game that we have done. We have created in
Yes.
India. It's a AAA game which is focused on telling Indian stories to the rest of the world, right? And we want to feel very proud of the work that we have done, right? And that's where our whole energy and focus is directed at right now.
Great. So I would like to know some of the part about the game trailer that I saw, in game trailer that the main character probably running, and by seeing the running, all the people are claiming that probably they have heavily inspired from the Black Myth Wukong game. So is there anything do you want to clarify?
I mean, I so there's so much of things being made in the world, right? If you look at, I mean, you will find similarities in something or the other, right? Black Myth Wukong is a great game, and but that's not the inspiration that we're looking for, right? We are building an
Okay.
authentic game based on Indian culture and epics, right? But yeah, I agree that there are some similarities in terms of running animations and stuff like that, right? But that has not been our inspiration for creating this game, to be very honest, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I understand the play that people are seeing those similarities and they are there. But I mean, that has not something that has driven our creative process as such.
So since Tripathi sir is there in the part of the story making, so I believe the game story lore gonna be absolutely awesome. Probably a new thing will come up.
Absolutely, absolutely. With Mr. working on the game, right? I mean, story is going to be really, really good, right? And that's going to be one of the key parts of the game, right? That's
Yes.
going to be one of the key stories because that feeds back into our whole thesis of why we are building this, right? Because story is going to be a very, very important element for the game for us.
What is your tentative budget if you want to have the all through the timeline about the game completion?
Yeah, so it's difficult for me to specifically talk about the budget in terms of numbers, right? But what I can definitely tell you, and I understand where this question is coming from, because
Yes.
a lot of companies have promised to deliver AAA, but they have not been able to, come up with the goods till now. But what I can definitely promise you is that we have all the intention to create the game that we have promised through the trailer, right? In terms of budget, I mean, we have enough resources and enough talent within the team
Mm-hmm.
to, create the game that we have started working on, right? So I don't see budget as a constraint as such, but it's difficult for me, to specify a number as such to be at this point of time, because the game is still early in development, right? There's still a
Yes,
lot of work to be
yes,
done. There's a lot of
yes.
things to be, created in the game. So speaking about the budget right now would not be, the ideal scenario.
Of course, you cannot even speculate with that kind of higher amount of budgets and so many timelines out there. So just speaking about the development timeline, so can you please mention that by how much soon we can just see the demo to come up on the Steam probably?
Yeah, so as you appreciate, Siddharth, that AAA game development takes a lot of time, right? But we
Yep.
don't really want to, get bogged down by a deadline or a date, right? We want to create the best
Yes.
experience that we can create, right?
Yes.
So we don't want to, specify a date that this is the date that we're going to launch it, and then follow that date rather than, following the execution, following the game that we want to build, right? So we want to take
Yes.
our time. So right now we are not yet worked out on a specific date that we want to launch. We are just working on, making the best game possible. But as soon as we get to a date, I mean, you will be among the first people that we are going to communicate to.
Thank you. Thank you. And about the price, would you answer with the same as well about the price?
Again, I mean, the price will be dependent on, it will be something that we will decide when closer to launch, when we understand what kind of game we are built. We have to look at the market, do our analysis of the market, because right now, if we decide on the price, and the price will basically dictate the kind of game we want to build. It shouldn't be
Yeah.
the other way around. We should build the best game possible and then see where we stand in the market in terms of pricing or the competition. Then we should price accordingly. So our whole objective right now, whole focus is in making the best game possible, right? So that, I mean, when we release this game, people around the world, especially people in India, should feel really proud of the game that we have built.
Is it a semi-open world game or probably a open world game?
So how we'll classify this is that it's a fantasy fantasy adventure action adventure game, right? It's a
Okay.
fantasy action adventure game with an RPG element to it, right? So there's going to be some level exploration to this, definitely, right? But something that we're still working on in terms of design on how we want to build the whole game world as such, right? But right now, if you ask me, I can say it's a fantasy action adventure game with an RPG element to it. So that will give you a fair enough idea like what kind of game we are looking to build.
Is there any particular difficulty level that you want to mention in the game? Do you have any difficulty levels?
So, I mean, we want the game to be as accessible as possible to a lot of people, right? Without making it too easy, right? So, the best games have the right, difficulty parameters set in so that people feel challenged, but still not. I mean, they would be, still be motivated to, move forward and keep learning about the game, the mechanics and stuff like that, right? That is what we are aiming for. So, I mean, as you have seen from the trailer, right? We are still in pre-alpha, so difficulty and all is something that we will, get to when we get into alpha. Once we have a much more, the whole game in place, and we will be able to, fine tune difficulty in a way that allows us to, come up with a game that is accessible at the same time challenging and fun for players to engage with.
Of course. So you are pitching a really highly, cinematic and story-rich experience in your trailer, what we can see as a gamer. So how are you maintaining the pacing and narrative quality all throughout?
So, I mean, these things will happen. I mean, when we are developing the game, right? I mean, it's obviously story is going to be a very important part of it, right? So, story, cutscenes, narrative dialogues, these have been taken care of by the team, right? We are making sure that we don't only create a game which is fun to play, but also a story that people would like to explore in the game. They would like to play the game to understand how the story is developing, right? So, that is definitely something which is on the top priority for us in terms of as a game development studio, and we are paying a lot of attention to the storyline, how the narration is going to happen, how the dialogues are being written, like what are the characters in the game, and overall what is the story that we're looking to tell in the game. So that is definitely an important part for us.
I really want to know that everyone speaking that before your trailer, there was another game claiming to be the India's first AAA game, and that games are done by Barun Mayas and team. I cannot recall the developing team as of now, but the thing is, you have seen the trailer probably.
Yes, I've seen the trailer.
So what's your thought on that?
Yeah, I mean, all the power to them, right? I mean, we are in the Indian gaming industry, we're all together, right? And from where the industry is right now, we want more and more developers, to come up with the games, make really good games that puts the Indian gaming industry on the global map, right? So we don't look at anybody as competition, because we are focused on creating our own game, the best game that we possibly can, right? Having said though, so we are very confident on our ability about the
Mm-hmm.
Indian studio, on our talent that we have in the studio, right? To build the best game possible, right? To build a game that people can be proud of, and to really hit that kind of quality that we're looking for, right? Having said though, I mean, there are other developers also who are in the
Yes.
similar endeavor, right? And what I can just say is best of luck to them. I mean, we want people to make the best games that they can, so that the whole industry grows, the whole industry benefits. The more the better the quality of games coming out of India, the more number of games coming out of India, the whole industry grows as such, right? So yeah, all the best to everybody involved in that development.
That's your great take, man. And I would like to know the Age of Bharat. The name itself creating the buzz. The Age of Bharat. Bharat, what is there? So that creates a very good emotional appealing for the Indian people, of course. So what do you think? The how you suggest this particular name for this game? Is there anyone who suggested, or just you guys come up with that?
I mean, we have been thinking of multiple teams, right? So Age of Bharat. I mean, if you look at the current geopolitics, I mean, India is the next, emerging superpower, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
this is the Age of Bharat. This century is the Age of Bharat that we're looking at, right? And there has been a time during this era when India was called the Soni Ki Chidiya, right? So we couldn't think of a better name than Age of Bharat, right? Because this is the coming of age, even for the Indian gaming industry, right? This is the game that we think that's going to position the Indian gaming industry as such on the global stage, right? So looking at all these things, right? Looking at how India is developing, how India is going to be the next global superpower. So we think that this name is has a lot of symbolic representation across different things, right? Which we believe that this name really, not only from a gaming point of view, but from a very emotional perspective as well, from being Indian, being
Yes.
looking at India from that angle, right? It really resonated very emotionally with us, and that's why we went ahead with this name.
So, you probably have heard of the IGDC event happen in every year in
Yeah.
Hyderabad, probably Indian Game Developer Conference. So, would you like to attend this one with this game? Are you taking this promotion into consideration?
Yeah, surely. I mean, when the time comes and we have something to show, I mean, definitely we would like to, get on and get to IGDC and, talk to as many people and show the game that we are building. And we're very proud of what we have, the team that we have assembled, the team that we have, right? So there's no reason why we should not go there, right? But again, all depends on at that point of time, like what have we built till then, which stage we are, and what kind of things we can go and talk over there, right? So it all depends. It's something that we can only decide, a couple of months before IGDC. It's very difficult for us to give a definitive answer right now.
So it's been a pleasure to have you. But before I let you go, I just want to clarify one more thing that all the people are asking me that, okay, whenever you take the interview, just put this question in front. What is AAA according to Mr. Siddharth Singh? What is the what like three-letter AAA? Because everyone, I'm giving you the context for everyone to understand. Because in India, probably one guy, making a game and calling it a AAA. Is there any budget constraint for the AAA? Is there anything that three or four studio will work together, or is it only the graphics thing is happening, or the gameplay, or the scope is all together, the environment? Just let us know that what is AAA according to you.
Yeah, so according to me, I mean, triple A is a quality benchmark that we assign to games, right? So we have A quality games, then we have double A quality games, and then we have triple A. So whenever we say triple A, it's the highest form of game development that we're talking about,
Yes.
and that involves your scope. The game has to be of a certain scope, right? It has to have a certain level of polish and certain level of mechanics and features in the game, right? And when you put all of these things together, obviously the budget balloons up. I mean, you can't really produce the kind of quality and the scope and the execution that we're looking at a limited budget, right? So budget definitely plays a part, right? But at the end of the day, I mean, it's all about what kind of game you're building, the level of quality and the execution and the polish that you have in the game, right? The kind of fees you have in the game, right? So that is something that's very, very important, and only then it can really qualify for AAA. And it's not only about calling yourself AAA. The people who are looking
Yeah.
at games, the people who
Let
are playing
people
your
call.
games,
Yeah.
they should call you AAA, right? And that is the true benchmark, right? I mean, I'm calling myself the best actor in the world, doesn't really matter, right?
No. No.
I mean, we all know that the best actor in the world is Amitabh Bachchan, right? And
Absolutely
that's
not
where,
make sense.
yeah, yeah,
Yes.
so that is where it counts, right?
Yeah, so thank you, Siddharth. For a heads up, just tell me about your style statement because I can see that you have got long hair, type ponytail or something. Like, tell me, like, he seems to be like a very cute and charming person altogether.
Yeah, thank you for the compliment to that. I mean, cute and charming
Yeah,
definitely are my middle name. And as far as the style statement, I keep on trying new different things. I mean, sometimes I grow my hair, sometimes I shave it all short, very short, right? So I mean, this is the only thing that I have that God has given me, who can like I can do my own experimentation on this, right? So I keep on changing my look every. Today you're looking at me with the long hairs. Maybe 3 months down the line, you'll be looking at me with a very short hair, right?
you keep on changing. You're
Yeah, I
never
do keep on
satisfied.
changing. I mean, experimentation is part. I mean, being a game developer, right? You always have to, looking at
Yes.
things. You always have to be experimenting, right? We don't want to follow a set formula. If you were following a set formula, then maybe we would not be creating the Age of Bharat, right? So,
Okay.
experimentation is part of our DNA, and we want to, experiment and come up with the best thing possible. And that's something that I do with my looks as well.
Okay. Great. So you live in Pune probably right now.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so thank you again for your time, man. And we have discussed a lot of things. Probably in the upcoming podcast, we will going for another bunch of questions. Probably mainstream for the gaming game only, the Age of Bharat. So there are lots of things happening, and I would really like to confirm you that I have got a game dev group of Indian game dev mixer. 900 people is there,
Mhm.
all the game devs. So I will definitely vouch Tara Gaming placements over there, so that if anyone is fitting, then probably I can send their portfolio directly to
Yeah,
you so that
sure,
you can have
sure.
some assistance from my end. Yep.
Yeah, sure. Would love to have as much of help from the community as possible, because we are going to open a lot of more profiles coming in the coming weeks, right? And we want as much of talent. If they
Yes.
feel that this is the game that they want to build, right? I mean, please reach out to us, and we would be happy to talk to you.
Thank you, Siddharth. Thanks for your time, and hopefully see you again. Bye
Thank
bye.
you so much. Thank you so much for having me here, and happy to talk to you. Take care.
Yes. Take care.